Hey guys, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and this is where I cover talk about some fire lore characters. I do these in one big long take. I just rant, so I will say a lot. I do have these cards to keep me on track. And yeah, speaking of cards, I am covering Bonifer Hasty. Yeah, dude. I'm this guy's a little hidden gem. Like he's not really around a lot, but man, he's got a lot. He's got a lot going for him. So yeah, I cover Song of Ice and Fire characters that have never made it into a show, and if they did, they were small, and also characters that uh, aren't like POV characters. So if you've never been here before, please like it, right? Like and subscribe and all that stuff if you want to. If you don't like it, then don't click like, and if you don't subscribe. But if you do those things. All right, let's get into it, man. Bonifer Hasty, Sir Bonifer Hasty to you, also known as Bonifer the Good, is an old landed knight from House Hasty and is the commander of the Holy Hundred. Holy Hundred. Bonifer is tall, thin, and known for his piety. Sir Jamie Lannister thinks Bonifer is a withered, solemn stork of a man. Stork. With a stern, sad face. Bonifer is prone to salting his speech with appeals to the seven. Yeah. Not my kind of guy, but, whatever. Good old Bonifer. Why is he like this? Well, we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about House Hasty. Don't worry, we won't talk too long, because just like the one from earlier this week, there isn't much about this house. So House Hasty is a noble house of landed knights from the Stormlands. They're brazen their arms with purple with a white streak. That's it. It's the whole. That's House Hasty. He's the only guy we really know about. And like I said, it's a landed knight house, right? So it's not like a big noble blah blah blah. It's just some knights with some land. So yeah, House Hasty. So this guy's got a backstory, right? Loving a princess. So this old dude, when he was a kid, was during like the reign of before Ares the second, right? So yeah, so this guy's like Nine Penny Kings types back. So back then, he might have loved a princess. So in his youth, Sir Bonifer Hasty was a promising tourney knight, and he and Princess Riella Targaryen were infatuated with one another prior to the princess's official betrothal to her brother, Prince Ares, who later became Mad King. According to Sir Barristan Selmy, Bonifer once wore the princess's favor in a tourney in which he defended and all challengers to name her his Queen of Love and Beauty. Their love was ultimately a brief thing and could never have been otherwise, as Bonifer was far too low of birth to be considered a suitor for princess of the royal house Targaryen. When Riella married Ares, the knight found a solace in religion and finding only the maiden can replace Riella in his heart. So he went super pious and started like not like a self-serve company, but just like a group of holy knights that he calls the Holy Hundred. So just a bunch of paladins hanging out, right? So after that, finding the Holy Hundred, not many today know of Bonifer's brief relationship with late Queen Riella in their youths. Sorry, I pronounced it correctly. Youths. There we go. Jamie Lannister only knows that something had happened to Bonifer, defeat or a disgrace or a near brush with death. So as of today, they don't really know why Bonifer acts the way he is. They just kind of think something must have happened to that dude because he thumps that Bible too hard. He's a Bible thumper. So yeah, where was I? And he just stopped jousting afterwards. So yeah, something made him just not want to fight anymore and just become, yeah. deciding it was an empty vanity. At one point, Bonifer served under Lord Owen Merryweather, a former hand to King Ares II, also known as the Mad King. Bonifer founded the Holy 100, a group of 100 pious men-at-arms. Yeah, but, you know, what if one dies or leaves? Then it's 99. Then you got to keep hiring people? We get to that. So where a lot of these stories actually begin with the main story is the Battle of the Blackwater. I bring the Battle of the Blackwater almost every character. Battle of the Blackwater, one of the 5 kings. Like most Stormland houses, Bonifer joins King Renly at the beginning of the War of 5 Kings. Upon Renly's death at Storm's End, he joins Stannis. Bonifer takes place in the Battle of the Blackwater, where he loses 14 of his Holy 100 and then submits to King Joffrey. This goes for most Stormland and Reach houses. So just like he's just like them, but more holy. Because I say that all the time. Whenever I cover like a Stormland house, I say, well, they started with Renly and then they switched over to Stannis. I say it all the time. Or they started with Renly and then they switched over to the Lannisters at the Battle of the Blackwater. Like, yeah. But he's just like them, but a little more holy. Holy cow. Holy Benifer. Oh, man. Good old Ben. How many different ways do they say Ben in this? We got Benifer, Benjicott, Blackwood. You guys remember Benjicott, Blackwood? No? Harrenhal. Bonifer and the Holy 100 accompany, that's the word, Sir Jamie Lannister to take River Run. On the way, they stop at Harrenhal, where Jamie announces that Bonifer, oh, it's not Benifer, it's Bonifer. So my whole last, why did I make that whole Ben rant? I'm dumb, man. I'm dumb. Dumb guy. All right. Good old Bonifer, not Benifer. On the way, they will stop at Harrenhal, where Jamie announces that Bonifer will hold Harrenhal in the crown's name during the absence of Peter Baelish, Lord of Harrenhal. So he's just Bonifer's gonna hang out in Harrenhal and hold it until Peter finally gets off that mountain and comes down to take the Riverland, which will happen probably never. All right. Jamie considers it probable that Orton Merryweather had convinced Queen Regent Cersei Lannister to choose Bonifer as Castellan of Harrenhal, as Bonifer once served Orton's grandsire, or Owen Merryweather. So many O's. Jamie also notes that Bonifer hails from the Stormlands and has neither any enemies to feud with, nor any allies to reward along the Trident, and he and his Holy 100 have an expected reputation for justice and sobriety and discipline and stuff. So he's got a good reputation, and he doesn't have any Riverland friends or foes. So if he had friends, he might be giving away stuff that the crown's going to be like, hey. But if he has foes, people might be like, dude, get Bonifer out of here. But since he's just some old religious dude, they're like, he's fine. So good old supper with Jamie. You guys ever have supper with Jamie Lannister? Jamie takes his supper in Harrenhal's Hunter Hall with Bonifer. He thinks of Bonifer in jest as Baelor Butthole. The best nickname ever, guys. That's gold. That's pure gold right there. Baelor Butthole. I love it so much. Okay, he thinks of him as Baelor Butthole in a mocking reference to the pious King Baelor the Blessed. Bonifer tells Jamie he will not suffer Gregor Clegane's followers remaining at Harrenhal, and he says he will have no sinners. He also tells Jamie to take Pia as well. Though she was bored at the castle, he does not want her to tempt his men. This is such messed up. In the scene, he's talking about Pia like she wasn't just a victim for everybody. Like Pia lived there during the Brave Companions and the Mountains Men, and he's like, take that temptress It's like, dude, she was in the dungeons. Think about what's been happening down there. I thought that you were the nice, pious guy. Baelor frickin' butthole indeed. All right. Oh. All right. Sorry. Though she was born in the castle, he does not want her to tempt his men. Jaime obliges and takes Pia and the mountain's men with him when he leaves. Though his Holy 100 is currently just Holy 86, having lost 14 men at Blackwater, Bonifer says with the help of the crown and the warrior, he will have no difficulty holding Harrenhal. We're not done with the supper with Jaime yet. There's some more stuff I want to cover. This conversation is kind of like all we get from Bonifer, and it's all pretty interesting, so that's why we're covering it. So, sins may be forgiven. During the supper, Jaime reminds him of the curse of Harrenhal, and he says, so then Bonifer says that because he is a godly man, he will have no trouble. Jaime tells him to report if they capture the brave companions, because when Jaime shows up in Harrenhal, he's like, I want to see Vargo Hoat. And they're like, here's his dead body. He's like, boo. He's like, wait, what about the other guys who cut my hands off? Where's Shagwell? Where's the freaking Dothraki dude? I can't remember his name right now. Somebody's going to tell me in the comments. I would also know it if I wasn't in the middle of this. Okay. And they all like ran off. So he's like, dang it. So then before he leaves, he's like, run into any brave companions. Could you get a little torture for me? To which he replies. So he says, yeah, report to him if they capture any brave companions. And Bonifer scoffs. No, that at how he wants to torture and kill them, claiming that he'd rather pray with them and forgive them before sending them to the block. So what I just said was, Jaime's like, hey, let me know if you run into brave companions. And he's like, oh, so you may torture and kill them? And Jaime's like, yeah, what are you going to do? Pray with them? He's like, yes. If they confess their sins, I will pray with them. And then I will hang them. It just sounds like murder with extra steps, bro. All right. Sins may be forgiven. Crimes require punishment. That's what Bonifer said. What a pious little butthole here. What a Baelor of the butthole. Jaime also orders him to send a barrack to King's Landing if they capture him, but Bonifer, says Bonifer can do. Okay, sorry. I can't read my own stuff, but yeah. So if he runs into barrack, send him to the King's Landing, and then he goes, well, what about the High Priest? It's like, if you catch Thoros and Mir, just have them, whatever. So. We're almost done. So Barristan's story. So now we're going back. So this is kind of where the other place where we learn a lot is, which we've already kind of covered some Barristan stuff in the opening thing where I'm giving the little bio. But Barristan Selmy tells Dany about this. So during her wedding in Meereen, on her way to marry his daughter Zolorak, or as I call him, the Lorak. He speaks for the trees. Sir Barristan Selmy takes Dany's mind off things by telling her a bit about her mother, Riella. Barristan says Riella was once briefly smitten with a young landed knight from the Stormlands. He tells her the knight put away his lance the day her mother wed her father, Aerys II, and became very pious. The knight's passion for Riella had no hope of fulfillment. Barristan chooses his words very carefully and does not mention the name of the knight to Dany, and she does not ask for the identity of the knight who has fallen so deeply in love with her mother. So this is just, later on in Dance of Dragons, the one time he was talked about, and it is actually a kind of cool scene, because you could see him like jumping around, and then he married your father. How was their relationship? Well, it was not very good. So yeah, now I got a theory, and a theory I like. It's a prediction I actually kind of really dig. I don't come across a lot of them because I'm I'm not much of a theory guy, so if you guys are new here, I do cover theories, but they're not my theories. I don't come up with them. Oh, except that Clayton Suggs is a Targaryen. But I do cover them, and I try to cite where I run into them, unless they're like, talking about some fire theories that everybody and their mom knows about, like, R plus L equals J or whatever. Harrenhal, Stronghold of the Faith. I found a cool theory by Targaryen in King's Landing on Westeros.org called Harrenhal, the Stronghold of the Faith. This prediction claims that the Faith militant might be forced. Also, look this up if you want to see the full one, right? This is my clip notes. You can easily type in Harrenhal, Stronghold of the Faith and get this, okay? All right. The prediction claims that the Faith militant might be forced from the city by the crown or the destruction of the Sept of Baelor or something. They might be driven from the city. Then the Faith will gather under Sir Bonifer. Lancel Lannister is also close by at Derry and can marshal Faith militant there and start a stronghold of the Faith. This could eventually lead to them siding with either Dany or Aegon. Possibly, right? So if the Faith of the Sevens, like Faith militant, have been raised, right? So if Cersei or whoever really cracks down on them, drives them from King's Landing, or maybe if they blow up the Sept of Baelor, not every single Faith militant is in the Sept of Baelor, right? Like, if that happens the way it happens in the show, if they blow up the Sept, it's not like this entire military order is just going to be in the Sept of Baelor, so they're going to need to go somewhere. They might go up to there, to Harrenhal. And the cool thing about Lancel, I think I said it here, I do love this idea, and I do think it's likely. Though, okay, I'll read the bottom here first. There's a ton of similarities between Bonifer and Lancel Lannister, so I do think their stories will cross. See, I also think, the idea of him and Lancel, they both loved a queen. They both joined the Faith afterwards. Like, of course, it's a little different, right? Like, Cersei's the Mad Queen. The other chick married the Mad King, But there's a little bit of similarities. So I do think that there is a big possibility of maybe Lancel getting a lot of the Faith together and then going up to Harrenhal and holding it. So now we'll cover the second thing. So I love this idea, like I said, though I think this will lead to his downfall. He states that it's his faith that protects him from the curse. It would be poetic if it's his faith that causes the curse of Harrenhal, right? His downfall is inevitable because everyone who holds down Harrenhal dies. Not just sworn lords, but just like the random dudes who hold them die, right? So Bonifer might die. And he said, I won't because I'm a godly man. But what if it's his faith that does it? What if it's him gathering all these people, trying to be a champion for the Faith, getting the Faith militant all riled up, and then maybe Harrenhal gets burned again or something, and it kills all them again. So his faith leads to his downfall. But, all right. There you guys go. That's Bonifer Hasty. What do you think of this character? Do you guys got one you want me to cover? I've covered a lot. And, so I'm doing 2 of these a week. Hopefully I'm still keeping that up. I mean, I filmed these a little in advance, so I hope I'm still keeping up my 2 a week. And so thanks for watching, guys. And let me know if you got anything else. So until next time, don't fall in love with any princesses. Peace.